Joining me now, oil and gas attorney Scott Deatherage from Thompson and Knight. Scott's familiar with the kind of funds that were set up for the BP incident, the cleanup, the follow-up. Scott, first, thanks for being with us. A lot of talk today about the shakedown. That's kind of overshadowed everything else that happened, that language in particular. But tell me a little bit about the fund that was set up. You call it unprecedented. Why?
It's certainly unprecedented for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, it's an oil spill that we've never seen before. The damages could be very high.
Right.
And the company put up $20 billion before any claims been adjudicated whatsoever. So in that sense, it's definitely unprecedented.
All right, let's talk a little bit. If something were a shakedown, I guess the best way to, and I'm not trying to get you to categorize it one way or another, but the best way to kind of take a look at that would be to say, what was the situation before this shakedown happened, and what's the situation after? So what was BP's place, what was going on with BP before it happened, and what's going on with BP now?
Well, look back and see where BP was. I mean, they had agreed to pay all legitimate claims. Mm-hmm. They had set up a claims processing system, and they were ready to move forward. After the meeting at the White House, basically what happened is that claims processing system was moved from BP to a third party, mm-hmm. and BP said, well, rather than funding out of our bank account, we'll move a certain amount of funds, $20 billion, into an independent fund, and that will be handled by a third party. So, you know, they probably had already reserved certain funds to handle these claims.
They knew they were going to be
They knew they were going to have to pay them. They'd said they were going to pay them,
mm-hmm.
so they've probably reserved those funds anyway. So they really just moved everything to a third party. It's still unprecedented, but not as different as it was before.
Does BP get anything out of this?
Well, I think BP gets potentially a lot out of it. One, it shows a lot of dedication to solving the problem. Two, they are probably, because they've agreed to this payout system, they may be able to pay out their dividend next year, which is an important issue for their stockholders and pensioners who rely upon their dividends.
It's important for the company to stay alive, right?
It's important for the company to stay alive. And that's actually one of the things they got out of it. They got the president to say, look, we're not trying to put you out of business, we just want you to pay these claims. And so that may give some reassurance to their shareholders.
Let me ask you one other question. The president got some political capital out of this. He can say, look what I've done, look what I've guaranteed. The people who I'm most concerned about are the victims of this. So what did they get out of this? Did they get anything out of this?
Well, they got an independent system set up to handle their claims as opposed to going to BP. And they got it funded, $20 billion, a huge amount of money set aside. And
you said, we'll wrap this up, Scott, but you said this thing could be open for 20, 30 years. This fund, it could be paying out
for at least
decades.
The next 10 years, it could possibly be open. We'll have to see based on all the facts.
Okay, Scott Deatherage, thank you for being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.